TV series called 7th Street Theater.
It's different. It's not necessarily the
And confidentially on.
This has the Blues here, just a few.
Hello, this is Cheryl Arias-Wicker with Christian Movie Connect, and today we're with Bill Muir of The Lost Medallion. And if people haven't heard about this movie yet, they are going to hear about this movie. I understand it just has hit some limited theaters and done very well.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we were in 60 theaters opening Friday, did well against Jack and the Giant, tried to slay it, held our ground. But we're going to be expanding into more and more theaters over the coming weeks.
Okay, so people just need to get out there and see it. Now, some people have described this as sort of an Indiana Jones-ish type movie. Would that be kind of an accurate description?
That'd be very fair. It's an Indiana Jones for kids, a lot of adventure, jumping off waterfalls, climbing cliffs, fighting warriors, going across a magical island, and in all of that, learning some big truths about life and identity.
Yeah, but it's not just for kids, because I mean, admittedly, I watched it an advanced screener with a college-aged girl, and we both just really enjoyed it. So,
well, the good news is that parents, Alex Kendrick is in it, of Courageous and Fireproof, and is the storyteller in it. And by the time it gets to the end and you turn the lights on, in most theaters, moms have tears in their eyes because of Alex and his soft lines to the kids.
Yes. So, and well, just give us a little bit about the story. What is the premise of the story?
The premise is a man, Alex Kendrick, goes back to a foster home to drop off some gifts and gets roped into telling a story to entertain the kids. And he has to make it up, but he uses the kids' names in the foster home. And in that journey, knowing a little bit of their backstory speaks to them through a story. And the story he tells is about a kid who discovers a lost medallion and is whisked back in time 200 years with his friend. And they have to go across the island to recover the lost medallion to get back home. And having got back home, realize life is different because they become better people. And then Alex, at the end of the movie, talks to the kids at the foster home and tells them how much they're loved by God and that they have a place in the universe.
And you know, one of the things that I like about the story is that the kids in this foster home each have an identity in the story that he's telling.
Very good.
Yes, I really like that, and they all got to learn a lesson too, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, there's the one boy that's the bully, and he learned that one ought not to go through life bullying, that kindness and service is a good attribute. One girl has an inferiority complex and struggles with who she is, and a boy feels invisible, and they each learn a great truth that brings them to a more kind, loving place as a result of the story.
So how did you get Alex Kendrick involved in this project?
Bribed. I bribed him.
Okay.
Money, no. Alex is a dear brother, a dear friend. He saw the movie, loved it before we were finished, showed it to his kids. His kids loved it. And then I went to Alex and said, hey, I'd like to make a couple improvements. And so he sat with me. We sat in a restaurant, made some changes in that journey. I said, hey, would you mind being the storyteller in this? And he said, I'd love to. And so he came to the project and has just been a great friend and brought his touch to it. Most of the tears in Mom's eyes at the end are Alex writing, not mine.
Yeah, and you know, Alex Kendrick is so loved in, you know, the Christian film community. So if his name on it, you know, people are going to want to see it for sure. So tell me where the idea came from to use this orphanage.
Well, the backdrop, the original idea came from, I've been working with kids for 30 years, and most kids that I've counseled seem to struggle with their identity and purpose and meaning. They feel invisible. They want so much to be accepted. They put so much stock in the label of their clothes or who their friends are or what party they go to. They struggle with they're the 12th kid picked on the baseball team. And out of those years of doing that, I thought I want to do a film that lets kids know that what's important is what's on the inside, not on the outside, not what's the label of their clothes, but the character of their heart. And so it started there. The foster care orphanage came out of my experience with my own home. We adopt and foster children, and so I thought the kids that we have fostered over the years have struggled deeply. You know, they get dropped off at our house at 3 in the morning or 7 by the state, and out of those experiences of being with them and loving them and sending them on and hoping they feel a little bit of love, out of that came a part of that backdrop.
Okay, great. And you've been working in films for quite some time. This is actually your first feature. Were you pleased with the way things turned out?
Yeah, I'm only 29, so this tells you how hard the journey was.
Yeah, I know.
But given that hard journey, it was a great experience. Had a great crew, learned a lot. Would love to do another movie. You become better at anything doing it. So I loved it. We filmed it in Thailand, so we had a crew of 200. We got to do all the things that big movies get to do in the journey, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, well, good. Well, we're doing this interview in Nashville, which I'm a Nashville native, but I live in Louisiana now. I understand you got to visit Louisiana for the first time in New Orleans short time ago. How did that go?
I loved it. Seriously, I loved it. A buddy of mine, Jamie, took me around. We walked for 2 days in the quarter. And I used to say quarters, now I say quarter.
Yeah.
Had the best food, and the architecture and the people are amazing.
Yeah,
I'll be back.
Good.
I'll bring my wife back next time. She'd love it.
Good. Then give us a holler.
Okay.
Okay, very good. And you're watching Christian Movie Connect. Tune in again next week.